What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Witch Hat Atelier Episode 4. Last episode was delightful, I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where we get into next. We didn't get too much hints of what may be coming next, we sort of just resolved where we were more than anything, so we realistically could go just about anywhere. And with that in mind, let's just get straight to it. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and consider becoming a channel member if you want to support me just that little bit extra. And let's get into this. Alright, back to the storybook. Many kinds of magic. Okay. Another magic lesson, I love it. Water. Getting into sort of core elements. Earth. Interesting. Transformation and movement. Levitation. Not wind, but levitation. Fire. I love the visualization of this. Primary tetrad, okay. Alright. Very cool, I love the lore. Oh, the brush buddy. Interesting. I can't help but notice that we have 4 apprentice students here at the Atelier. What if each specializes in one type of the tetrad or something? Who knows? Oh, you built fire! You did it! Oh boy, I forgot about the thanking thing. Fireball. Formless phenomena. Fair. Fire is dangerous. Okay. Ooh. Mastered is a strong term. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like the emphasis on the ink on her hands. Not the right pen? Ah. A tool built for its user. Okay. I like that as an idea. Okay. Yo, art supply stores for magic, hell yeah. I love that idea. Oh, okay, great setup for the episode. Good little bit of lore, like, of how magic works and the logistics of the tetrad and stuff, and then the setup for the episode, nice. Ooh, I'm so excited to see what they do with this episode. I'm very intrigued also about the brimmed caps. Very intrigued about that still. Yeah, I have so much more of an appreciation for the anime after last episode, actually. 'Cause like I said I might do, like I was considering doing, I did check out the first few chapters of the manga since last week, and first off, the art in the manga is incredible. Absurd how good it is. But also, I couldn't help but notice how the anime has adapted certain things to sort of expand certain moments, especially in last episode. Both for the big dynamic moments and the smaller moments. They really have sort of taken the established story and are doing some fun things with it, I feel. So I'm super excited to see what we get going forward here. I'm also very curious about a lot of these other characters that I'm noticing in the opening, of course. All right, time to go to the magic store. Ooh. Ooh, I love that shot. Okay, carrying Coco and Got, because, yeah, Got's shoes were messed up. Makes sense. And Coco obviously doesn't have her own shoes yet. Kalhn, okay. Witches Town. Okay, so there are entire settlements built, even in the open, for witches. Ooh, so many caps. Interesting. An entire settlement of witches. Moleworms. Okay. Of course. Of course. A got has to be the loner. I'm glad that he's picking up on their sort of conflict. Fair. Gonna take time, I imagine, though. God, I love the variety of outfits. Like, everything has the same sort of core, like, conical hat, but the design beyond that is completely, like, varied. I really love that as vibe. Lots of potions. Oh. All kinds of magic. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I only picked up on that on the last fucking second. Huh. You're being observed, Coco. As we saw last episode. Ooh, I love the unicorn head. The starry sword? Okay. Curious to see what the inside of this place looks like. Hmm. I say this every episode, but I love how we hang on shots like this. Ooh. Is that like a petrified tree or something? Ooh. Or is that just like a special kind of tree? Silverwood tree. Who do we have here? Interesting, the triangle glasses. Oh no, she's famous. Or maybe infamous. God, word spreads fast. Okay, a character. Nolna. Okay. Oh. Tarta, okay. Cool. Cool. Interesting. Different concentrations? I'm curious how that, like, plays into stuff. I'm guessing maybe the extraction, maybe the ink comes from the tree? Something like that? Oh? Some shavings of something? Oh, I love... Oh, I love how we do these shots of... That's Tarta, I imagine? Someone from the OP. Oh, are they, like, carving a wand? Slash pen? Oh, maybe the tree, the Silverwood tree is what the pens are made out of? I love the look of this. Hmm. Very nice little, like, controlled fire. Ah, yes. Ooh. Oh. So extracting the toxin. It becomes the ink. Crude ink. Cool. Cool. Also, I like how he was using, like, a version of the water thing to extract the water. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, makes sense. Hence why this place is built around one. Interesting. Of course, there's always old legends. Ah, interesting. Yeah, the branches are wands, cool. Yep. Ooh, I love that lore. I love the way this show does lore. Huh. Okay. God. I love the look of everything. Alright, some crude, ink. Hmm. God. Oh, hi there. I like how we're not leaving this part alone. We're not letting this, like, linger in the background. Yeah, better follow. Oh, interesting. Looking for new boots? Of course. Gotta get everyone grouped up together for something. I assume she was looking for new shoes, not realizing it got... Well, Coco is trying to fix the old ones. Or not believing she can. Oh, I did not expect us to so immediately get to this. I mean, who knows if we'll unmask them, but I did not expect to actually have a confrontation. Oh, I love this shot. This is so fun. The, like, just deep look of the alleyway with all the passageways. Oh, the little brush buddy. Oh. Concerning. A smoke screen, intentional or otherwise. I love this little guy. You can't leave Brush Buddy behind, guys. Yeah. Oh, where are we? Is this place? Yeah, no, they went through that smoke. Did they get transported somewhere? Yeah, this is all... this is like a fucking weird... Almost like MC Escher-ish. Just like, not quite, but almost. Yeah, no, you've been transported somewhere. If you followed a mage doing forbidden magic, though... Yeah. But if the person you were following was doing forbidden magic, and they did a spell that wasn't just directly targeted... Careful, you can't be too, like, panicked here. Oh. With the others? Oh, probably everyone other than Coco. Is this like a labyrinth and this is going to be the Minotaur type deal? I really hope it is. Oh no, that's just a dragon. That is a dragon. Holy shit. Interesting. What? Ooh, the four wings. I love that. You are our hope? What? What does this witch have invested into Coco? Mm. Kiefer and Coco are very much of like mind, I see. Yeah. Oh? Okay. Ringing bells to Kiefer? Yep. Yeah, no, we're in trouble. Ooh, is that split tongue? I love all the focuses on the details here. Also, I've been loving the music. Okay. It doesn't help that only two of them have flight shoes. Ooh, this is tense. It feels like it's locked onto a god of all people. Yeah. Ugh. How do you deal with a fucking dragon? Ooh, I love this panning shot. Yo! Okay. We're getting to see our first little glimpse of some magic combat of all things. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Ah. Pre-drawn. And then you finish the circle. That's cool. Pre-made spells. Mm. Maybe just be quiet and hope it doesn't notice you. There's gotta be a way out of this. Ugh. Ooh. That was a tense as fuck moment. Yeah. Magic is a tool to get out of here. Okay. I'm very intrigued by that moment with Tetia. I had a feeling that's what it was. She didn't say anything about the look in her eye. Oh, that hurts. That's that. Oh, oh, a distraction, perhaps. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. So Agat is very much based on the just opinion of whether or not you can do good. Oh, that is an elaborate circle. Ugh. Oh my god! Go a bit farther, Agat. Okay, Jesus Christ. I think that gives us a big answer to the kind of person Agat is. God. Gee, yeah, the sheer difference in how Agat treats them. Huh. Damn. Huh. Everything is beating Coco down right now, intentionally or otherwise. Ooh, this is messy. Hmm. What are you thinking, Coco? Hmm. Jesus, that. Hmm. I have a lot to say after this. Okay, the brimmed caps again. They didn't have a brimmed cap, literally speaking. Oh, unless... Yeah, no, a lot of the other hats are more brimmed. Hiding behind masks, okay. Yeah, I guess there is a bit of a brim to that hat. It's very understated, though. Hmm. Yeah, it's lucky that he noticed as much as he did. Yo! Is Brush Buddy gonna be the win? The way that they get out? Yeah. Brush Buddy for the win? MVP Brush Buddy? Yes! Oh, I love him. Holy shit. Yeah. We're ending it there! Okay, holy shit. Holy shit, okay. Oh, there was a lot this episode. A lot. It... For Got, it feels like we basically are hitting the climax where everything sort of bursts open for her issues with Coco. But we're also getting a lot of interesting stuff with Tetia specifically, but also Riche to a degree. But Riche is more sort of being that quiet rock in the background who is helping them out, doing things, being support. But character-wise, there was a very distinct moment there with Tetia. And obviously it ties into Coco. And then, oh my god. And then we also have all the questions of what the hell the brimmed caps want with Coco. And obviously the pretty direct confirmation that the mysterious witch is a brimmed cap witch. Like, at this point, I feel like it would be unreasonable to say they aren't. Coco is their hope. Curious. And then, of course, we also just have everything related to just good lore. This was once again a delightful episode. It simultaneously has pushed the plot forward way faster than I expected, and has also just done some great character moments, some good lore. I'm very happy with what we got in this episode. I think the part I want to focus on the most is the character stuff between Tetia, Agat, and Coco, but I'm going to save that for a bit as I touch on some of the smaller things. First off, as I was just acknowledging, the essentially confirmation that the mysterious witch is one of the brimmed caps. Very much the vibe the brimmed caps give off from the little bit more we get here is that they are a sort of rogue faction who is more sort of tied to or is more in line with the sort of eras before the hiding of magic. Their brimmed hats are described as being from a bygone era. They use forbidden magic, or at least the one we've met does. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Obviously, this is setting up for there to be a sort of conflict between the brimmed caps and the more established brimless cap faction that is the more dominant one, as it seems, that are realistically probably vying for how magic should be used. Obviously, we don't know the actual intentions or goals of the brimmed caps yet, but we are getting hints to, at the very least in some small scale, Coco is at the center of, at the very least, this brim-capped witch's plans. She is their hope, as the brim-capped witch described. We'll have to see what exactly the actual, purpose Coco is meant to serve in their eyes is, but it's obvious that they are putting a lot of sort of emphasis on the importance of Coco to their plans. At the same time, though, I'm curious if this was all sort of an accidental interaction where Coco was just being observed by the mysterious witch, and when caught, basically runs off, tries to get away, rushes into this labyrinth via teleportation, and they follow behind, or if this was a very intentional thing of get spotted, run away, pull Coco into this labyrinth to, I guess, maybe test her, force her to maybe use some forbidden magic or something? I don't know. I feel like there's some intention here. With how carefully it seems like the brimmed caps, or at least this witch specifically, has been playing things, I sort of doubt the likelihood that they slipped up so dramatically right here. I feel like this has to be to some degree intentional. But what is clear is that they did not intend to bring the rest of the apprentices in. As they said, they do not have any business with Tetia, Riche, or Agat. Pivoting from that, though, to some other lore stuff, I really like the glimpse we got into sort of the two core pieces of some magic fundamentals, being the sort of elemental tetrad. I need to go back for the exact term they used for that, but of the sort of essentially four elements of fire, water, earth, and levitation, as they put it. Interesting that it's levitation rather than wind. And then there's also the aspect of the construction of wands and the production / extraction of ink, with silverwood trees being at the core of it all. That is the kind of lore I really like, especially the detail we got of the sort of folk tale of the origin of the silverwood trees. That is so fun. I really like that. I also just love the idea of wands not being uniform, them being something that can be crafted to suit someone's preferences. There's just a lot of fun stuff to explore here. But now I think it's about time to get into the real meat of all this. That being the moment shared between Tetia and Coco, and the moment shared between Agat and Coco near the end of the episode. Starting with the Tetia one, because it was a much briefer moment, and though complex, there's sort of less to talk about to some degree than the Agat one. Tetia's panic in that moment in the labyrinth is very interesting, and I think very telling of a lot of things. Because, of course, it makes sense that these kids would not be suited for this kind of dire situation. The fact that Agat and Riche are as level-headed as they are is impressive, to say the least. But what I think stands out about Tetia here is the fact that she has always been, in the limited amount we've had of her, she has been, of the fellow students, the most supportive, kind, outgoing, and generally kind among them. Having the whole sort of partially joke thing of loving to be thanked and thanking people when they're thanked, that kind of thing. She is just this very bubbly, happy, kind person who we have prior to now seen get a bit panicked at times, but in a more comedic scenario. So here we get something very different. This is a full-blown panic, beginning of a breakdown that I think shines through in the mention of I have not left my mark, essentially. She has not left any spell in the world, I think is more along the lines of what she exactly said. She wants to make her mark, and she was terrified that she may not be able to because of the current circumstance, which obviously tells us something about her. She wants to leave her mark. She wants to be somebody. She wants to achieve something. She has dreams, goals, that kind of thing. But absolutely, the bigger moment in this panic meltdown for me is when she starts to say something along the lines of, why is this happening? but she cuts herself off as she looks at Coco. She doesn't say anything, but she looks at Coco as she's saying it and then stops herself. That moment carries so much for me. Everything we have gotten so far of Tetia tells us she is not the kind of person to blame someone like Coco for mistakes she has made. She wouldn't want to do that. But her mind drew the link. Why are we here? Why are we trapped in this labyrinth with a dragon and probably gonna die? Oh, because Coco ran off and we chased after her. So for a moment there, her mind links, who's at fault for my imminent death, for me not achieving my goals? It's Coco. But she cuts herself off. She doesn't say anything, she looks away, and she tries to get a hold of herself. She does not try to put Coco down. She just has this moment. And that is incredibly real, incredibly human. I feel like a lot of people often have moments like that when they're panicked, angry, in some kind of distress. They'll be able to piece together technically who's at fault for something, or irrationally blame someone for something, but that goes against the kind of person they try to be. I love that as a moment, and I love that Coco picks up on it. And of course, I just hope that, though picking up on it, I hope that Coco does not blame herself too much for that, and can come to understand that Tetia would not actually blame her. It was just a moment of panic, or at least I would imagine that is what Tetia's sort of thought process was. Agat, on the other hand, though obviously also in a stressful scenario, in a moment of distress of their own to an extent, Agat is already someone who has expressed distaste for Coco. So this is just an extension of that to a degree. Prior to now, Coco has just annoyed Agat, largely speaking, it seems. Where now it clearly, at least in this moment, is a lot more aggressive. But it seems like, ultimately, her issue stands in the same general sphere. She views Coco as someone incompetent, someone who isn't capable of doing the same things that she can. And I've dug into this a little bit prior to now in previous episodes. I've been sort of trying to piece together exactly what's going on in Agat's head since we first met them, pretty much. But it's here that I think we get a very distinct line that I think might be at the core of some of their philosophy, and is very fitting for a foil to Coco to have as a belief. At the end of her outburst at Coco, Agat says, "Get it through your head how ignorant you are and stop doing anything." To Agat, Coco, as I said, is incompetent. She knows nothing of the magic world. She has made nothing but mistake after mistake and has gotten people hurt. That is how Agat views Coco. And thus, she believes that Coco should just stop. Don't do anything more. Give up on your dreams. You can't do it. She is a results-based person. And we can see that in how differently she treats Riche and Tetia. Nothing but praise for them after they successfully do spells, but nothing but anger towards Coco due to her mistakes. Results are everything to Agat, it would seem. And if you are constantly making mistakes, that means you cannot do it. She seems not to believe in the capacity for someone like Coco to improve, to grow, to learn from her mistakes. And that places Agat fundamentally opposed to the message that, though perhaps Coco hasn't personally internalized and put to words this idea, the show has done it for us, that Coco is representing the idea that no one is born what they become. You're not born an athlete, you are not born a scientist, you are not born a witch. You have to learn, you have to make mistakes, you have to develop. So now we can clearly see where Agat lands in this philosophical question. You have to be born into what you become. It doesn't mean that Agat thinks that you can just sort of easily do whatever you're born into. She obviously believes in hard work and dedication, but it's clear that she believes in a sort of minimum required level of understanding or knowledge or talent to be able to do something. And Coco is not someone who had that starting point. Though aspects of this I have already called out in relation to Agat prior to now, it does very much realign things in my mind for their role in the story currently. I've always been viewing her as a rival to Coco, but now I think it is much more tied to that fundamental theme and idea of learning being something that anyone can do, that everyone does. And it's with this where I feel like Coco stands on the winning side of this sort of thematic battle. Because yes, absolutely, Coco's been making mistakes and causing problems for people, and it could, very objectively speaking, be said to be born out of ignorance, out of a lack of understanding. But hey, if she keeps trying and learning and legitimately attempting to improve, that will stop happening, and maybe she could even contribute and undo the harm she has done, and perhaps provide more good to the world than just harm. While on Agat's side, she claims Coco is incompetent, but in a previous episode was claiming that it took hard work for someone like her to get to where she is. The initial point of annoyance it seemed like she had with Coco was more based in the fact that she got a jump start to be in the same playing field as Agat, despite not having the prerequisite knowledge. So though you could argue her perspective as somewhat cohesive, you could also make the point that there's an inconsistency there. If hard work and practice and learning is something that was required of you to get to where you are, why is Coco any different? That is a question that could be posed to Agat, and I'd be curious how they answer. Similarly, I'd be very curious to see how Agat reacts to their own personal failings. We have not yet seen something like this. Agat has been made out to be very competent so far, quick thinking, being the planner and strategist in this moment of crisis, the one to make the counterattack on the dragon, to tell everyone to run, to decide to do the wall breaker spell. But what happens when Agat's best isn't enough? What happens when there is something Agat does not know? How does she react then? That is going to be, I think, a big notable point in her character. Whether or not it's a turning point for her as a person, whether or not she will, in a moment of failing, ever realize that she's being a bit hypocritical to Coco, it will be very telling to us, the audience. Because that is where we will learn, is Agat's belief consistent? Will she decide, oh, I'm not cut out for this? Will she give the same qualifiers she gave to Coco to herself? When she hits a wall too high, will she just give up? Or will she defy her own statements and beliefs that have been expressed so far and claim, no, I will surpass this, I will grow, I will improve? And if so, prove her own point contradictory. That is now what I'm looking for from Agat, I believe. Who knows how quickly we will get that, if ever, but I feel like that is the natural place my mind goes for where her arc could lead. Of course, Coco interplays with that, and where Coco goes from here, I'm incredibly curious about, because where she is left at the end of this episode is a very low point. She may be in the same crisis moment as the rest of the students. All of them are at risk of losing their lives, being trapped here, not having a way out. But unlike all of the others who, whether they want to or not, can blame Coco for the turn of events, Coco is left blaming herself, questioning what she can do. Is she truly at fault? Should she just stop? And she doesn't come to an answer at the end of this episode. She just seeks guidance. She calls out to Kiefer, who is not there, but questions what would he do in this situation, which to an extent shows her trust and belief in Kiefer as her teacher, and also something about just like how closely they immediately have bonded. But it's a very precarious spot to leave her at the end of this episode, and I'm very excited to see where we go into the next one. There's a lot that could happen, and I am excited. But with that, I think I will leave things there. I think I've covered all the core nuggets that I wanted to. So feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and very special thanks to all of my channel members, including Amorphosilica, Dweller, Pokelove101, and Unusual Echo at the normal tier, and Kano Nano at the cool person tier. Really appreciate your support, as always, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye!